Ugh, why am I so bad at Pokemon Go? I have none of the Pokemon that I want. Hold on. If I can't catch the Pokemon that I want, I could just make them. Yo, my people. Today we are going to be doing some Pokemon crochet. And to be fully transparent with you, I do not have that much of a connection to Pokemon. I used to watch the show growing up and I loved that show. I don't remember very much, but I loved it. But I haven't played very many Pokemon games, but I do want to. So it's not like I'm like forcing myself to do this video. I'm not. I want to play more Pokemon games. But the first one we're doing is a Ditto, because I had made this Ditto pretty early on in my crochet journey last year. I made it for my son, but I did not know very much about like crochet. I wasn't like settled into it. I didn't know what hook size to use, what eye size to use, what yarn to use for the mouth, which this has no mouth because my son ripped it out. But I'm gonna redeem myself because this is just a sad excuse in my opinion, and I know if I did it again now, it would be so much better. And guess what I have right there? I have the perfect yarn color for it. That wasn't in the store when I went shopping to make that one. Alrighty, what are we waiting for? Let's go make our Ditto.
Every cozy gamer is used to or likes platformers.
It's Ditto making time. It's Ditto making time. It's Ditto making time. And tell me why it took me so many stinking tries to cut this yarn. Oh my gosh, you'll get it. Yes, finally. Okay, now we have the first bump done for the bottom. Let's see how it looks compared to the original one. It's looking pretty small if you ask me. What do you think? Okay, let's try again to cut. We did it on the first try. Bless. And now we have 2 of the bumps done for the bottom. Yay. Alrighty, y'all. We have the 3 little bumps on the bottom all done. Although it's probably better to wait until I actually connect them. Let's still compare the sizing. Look at this. It's gonna be so much smaller, I think, which makes sense because when I made this, I used the pattern's recommendations, which was a size 4 hook. And just for reference, I use a size 6 with this kind of yarn now. So when I use the size 4, I would just, with every stitch, pull yarn and like make the tension looser. And you can tell that like the stitches are a bit like longer, if that makes sense, than they normally are on my crochet. So you see like they're more compact now, right? And so it makes sense that it's gonna be smaller, and that's what I was kind of expecting going into it. So we'll see as we go how much of a difference this really is. Okay, are you seeing this? Are you seeing this? It's connected, and here is our original Ditto. Oh my gosh, it looks like a giant taking over the other one. It is so big compared. Yeah, it's definitely gonna be a lot smaller this time. I'm so excited to see what that really looks like at the end of the day. So, funny story, y'all. Not only am I like not that in tune with Pokemon, so to speak, but when I started crocheting, I saw this Ditto pattern going around because it's a free pattern, completely free, y'all. So go check it out if you haven't and you're a crocheter. But I saw it, right? And I didn't know what a Ditto was. I literally had no clue. But I was just like, oh my gosh, it's a free pattern. It looks really cute. I don't want it, but my son would probably love it. So I'm just gonna make it for him. And I think it wasn't until I was like part of the way through making his that I realized that that's a Pokemon. So just a fun fact, if I knew that, I probably would have been more adamant about like waiting until I found the right color. I was just like, oh, like he can pick whatever color he wants. And so he just picked out of the colors that were there that day. And it was still a purple because he saw the pattern I showed him so he would see and know what I'm making him. And so he went with purple like the pattern, but it was the purple they had at the store, not the purple that actually matches it, which this one does. I just finished round 18 after connecting the 3 bumps at the bottom, and this is how it's looking. I know it gets really deep in there, so I want to start stuffing now so that it doesn't become really hard to, because I think I remember it being really hard to stuff it the last time. But I am slightly concerned because it feels really like bumpy on the body. I hope it smooths out when I actually stuff it. Why do I think I can stuff this with one hand while I'm holding my camera? That is the silliest thing I've ever heard of, girl. I feel like redoing this Ditto is kind of how I feel like I'm living life right now, because I made the first one when I was still kind of new to crochet. I didn't have my rhythm down. Like, I didn't know my hook size that I use with what size yarn. I didn't feel confident in how I stuffed plushies. I didn't feel confident with my tension. But now I'm pretty good with all that. I feel solid and I'm getting to do it again, right? And I don't know how old you are watching this or like what life experiences you've been through, but like I'm in my late 20s and there's so many parts of life that just seem so hard and you don't know what the heck you're doing as you're growing up and everything just kind of feels wrong. But for me, like now I'm at a stage where like I feel like everything's clicking. Like there's things I knew, like self-worth, self-esteem kind of things and whatnot, and I like grew in those ways. But as I've gotten even older, it's like now everything is just so much more clear. Like for example, who cares what people think about me? Like let me just be myself. Why is it that some of us worry and have that voice in our head like 24/7 of like what are other people thinking instead of just like living our lives? And that's something I've been able to do better, is just live my life. Like I don't know, be myself. Like there's such a freedom that comes when you feel like that ability to just know who you are and live it. And it's so freeing, it's so beautiful. So I wish I could go back and tell my younger self that we were gonna get to this point. And so that is how I connect to this Ditto here. But yeah, I should probably stop stuffing at this point because it's quite stuffed and it'll be hard to crochet around it if I did more, and it's such an open hole too. But I feel like we need to do a bit of a comparison again with the other one. I'm gonna go get it. 1 second. Oh. Okay, here it is. And then this is the bottom of this one, now stuffed. Yeah, it's still so much like wider, but you can see how unstuffed this one is. It's so flat. But it's weird because I swear I remember stuffing it more when I made it and feeling like I was like, wait, am I stuffing it too much? But now it's like so flat. I'm so excited. This one's gonna be so huggable and soft and squishy and big. I'm jealous of whoever gets to keep it. Y'all, crocheting with all this stuffing in here is so painful because I have to hold it up with this hand while I crochet. Send prayers. Y'all, last night I tried to finish the Ditto, or I wanted to. That was my goal, and that was the same day that I recorded the last clip, but I was just too tired. I'm done for now. I need a break, okay? So we're gonna move on for now to our next Pokemon crochet project. And for this one, we need some red, black, and white yarn because we gotta catch them all, duh. Hopefully you know what I'm making and hopefully I used that quote correctly. Oh, but I'm actually headed to my mom's house. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to crochet there. I'm gonna try. But either way, let's make our next Pokemon item, which you should probably be able to guess by now. Thanks, Mom, for the amazing lunch. It was yummy. Well, as you can see, I am still at home. I'm not at my mom's house, but we did have a yummy lunch together and a great conversation too. Naoetry is doing it fine and dandy, y'all. So now we begin our Pokeball. If you didn't already figure it out. That's true. All the patterns I'm doing in this video are free patterns, and I think I did a really bad job last time of saying who made each pattern. Hopefully I should have put them in the description though, and I still will. But this one is by, let's see, ghostkitty_crochet on Instagram. The Ditto is by catnit on Instagram. It might be like catnit_ or something, I think is her username. But she also has another free Pokemon pattern. I think it's for Chansey. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. But this pattern for the Pokeball is very different from what I'm used to. You can't really see much of what I'm doing. But starting it out, we've got a magic circle. But this pattern is not worked in continuous rounds, and I am 100% not used to that, so it'll be interesting. Thankfully though, the pattern does like walk you through it, so no, I rarely have a problem making a magic circle with burnout blanket, but what was that? Like, why was it not letting me pull it anymore? But it's nice doing free patterns in these videos because then I can like talk about what the pattern is. I don't feel like I have to, you know, keep it a secret because anyone can access it and see it. Also, if anyone makes the patterns that I do in these videos, of course you should be tagging the pattern creator, but also tag me if I inspired you to make them because I would love to see them. Pray for me that this magic ring actually closes properly this time. Oh gosh, I feel like I'm gonna have trouble again. What is going on, y'all? Okay, so one eternity later, I think I kind of got it. I'm scared we're gonna have a bit of a hole in the middle, but we're just gonna hope for the best and move on. Okay, so this is where the pattern already starts freaking me out a little bit because it says to take your hook out of the loop, done, and put it through the first single crochet from the back, and then put the loop back on your hook and pull it through, and then chain one. A little bit wonky. Okay, I'm gonna take my stitch marker out. I'm a little scared here. Never done such things. Okay, we're pulling it through and then chaining one. So this is where I get confused because it says start the next round in the same single crochet you made the invisible join with, but I can't even see that at this point. Everything about this feels so foreign and I don't like it. I miss my continuous rounds. Give them back to me. Yeah, see, we kind of have a hole. Usually it is tight, like there is no hole at all in the middle, but this time there's a bit of one and I don't like it. But it's interesting how you can literally see we are now working on a whole new row. Like it bumps up the beginning of the row and it makes it very clear, and I guess, yeah, it's called an invisible join because it makes it a perfect circle, I guess. Does anyone else remember? I feel like when I was a kid, people had like Pokeballs. I don't know if it was just like a toy that they gave out at McDonald's or it was something that you got with your Pokemon cards or something. And I remember going into kindergarten and not knowing anything about Pokemon, and then I would see kids like trading Pokemon cards or something, and I was like, oh, I want to do that. Like I want to know what that is, but I never really got too deep into it. Like I watched the show, but that was really as far as it went for me. But make sure to comment down below like whether you are like an avid Pokemon fan or something and what your favorite Pokemon is. I love that I can hide the Pokeball from you with my mic because it's done. It was a really quick make and really fun. I got the hang of doing the invisible join and chaining at the end of every round, and it became a joy, honestly. But what are we waiting for? Here is the Pokeball. Did I catch you? Okay, I'm so glad I didn't like make a mess or like dislodge my camera or anything, but there it is. I feel like it's not as like rounded as I would like it to be. Maybe if I used chenille yarn it would have been more rounded, but I used blanket yarn and there she is. Oh, there's a bit of fuzz. Okay, y'all, I am back to doing the normal continuous rounds that I'm used to, and as much as I came to enjoy joining the rounds, I am feeling right at home, feeling so good, so happy to be doing continuous rounds again, because you could just fly through the round and you don't have to like stop every time, hence the continuous. You just keep going and it's beautiful and glorious. Y'all, I am so pumped for this next Pokemon crochet project, but before I forget, I haven't forgotten the Ditto. Does that make sense? Before I forget, I haven't forgotten. Anyway, I haven't forgotten about the Ditto. I technically finished it, but I want to use different yarn for the mouth because I used the same size yarn, same type of yarn, but I really don't like it. And I really want to use like acrylic, but I don't have any black acrylic. But here he is for now. I love it. I honestly love it, except for the mouth, of course. But hopefully before the video is over, I can get some black acrylic and then we can do a better comparison from the old one to the new one. But anyway, goodbye with you for now, Ditto. Now, I feel like we're gonna do the most obvious Pokemon ever. Pikachu! I'm so excited. I already have some yellow yarn in here, but the pattern calls to use brown yarn. I'm gonna search up a Pikachu picture right now because I swear the tips of his ears are black, right? I did look up some pictures the other day, but it also really looks cute with brown yarn. So we'll see. Let's see what the internet shows us. Okay, see? His ears are always brown, and there's even an amigurumi one right there. But then he has brown like on his tail and stripes on his back. So I don't know, maybe I'll do it as true to the real Pikachu as possible. Do black on the ears and brown on the tail and on the back. I don't think the pattern calls to do that, but I'm gonna be true to Pikachu. Haha. So I tried to have a really cute moment and crochet Pikachu outside, and you can see we start really well. It's looking good, right? But then all of a sudden, the camera decides to just go down. I think it was the wind that pushed it down, and then it was just like that for the rest of the time. It was like 20 minutes of recording like this. But this is what I got done with the head in that time. Is it just me, or was this not golden hour? Like, I feel like this footage looks so good. But yeah, we got more of the head done. We crocheted some more, added the eyes, stuffed. Stuffing with one hand is not for the weak. Just a PSA. Can someone please translate for me because my son kept saying any na nu here and I don't know what he meant. But clearly he was trying to tell me something. Okay, y'all, I just undid a huge knot that this yellow yarn had. I don't know if any of that was seen in the previous clips, but this had the worst knot ever. Oh no, don't knot again. Okay, I got scared there. Oh my gosh, it's all free. Look, that's the end. No more knots. I can crochet the body in peace now. And that I gloriously did. Do you see how tiny this body is? It's so precious. I love it so much. Okay, let's see how big this is gonna be. Oh my gosh, look at that head on this body. I cannot. It's ginormous. It's gonna be too cute. Oh, and by the way, this pattern is by Shinecrafts on Instagram. Before I forget to say that completely in this video. Don't mind the knocking, it's my son. He's supposed to be sleeping. Next up, it was time to crochet the ears, and it's so funny looking at facial expressions when you record yourself because I look so somber in this, and I'm not sure why. Maybe I was just tired, and then look at that skeptical face. And then we stuff the ears, and there is the final product of our Pikachu ear. And finally, it was time to crochet Pikachu's tail, but my camera angle was so off. I did a really bad job of placing this, so we're just gonna skip past this now. So we are at the final stretch of this Pikachu. I just have to sew it all together, which I don't think I'm gonna do on camera, but I'm just asking for your prayers because me and sewing heads on bodies do not go well together. Okay, so let's pray that this time it goes well because I want this to look so good, and it's like I just know it's gonna be so cute with like the little tiny body, that little tiny body with the big Chunkosaurus head. It's gonna be so cute, and I don't want to mess it up. Like, just imagine. Do you see how cute this is gonna be? It's gonna be so cute.
A few minutes later.
Boy, was I right, that Pikachu is gonna be so cute because look at Pikachu. Oh my goodness, this has to be like one of the cutest things I have ever crocheted in my life. It's so cute. I did say that I would do like the brown on the tail and the back, but it's kind of impossible because the way the tail is crocheted, it would have been really hard to do that. Maybe it would be possible, I don't know, but then there's not really space on the back here. The pattern doesn't really tell you about doing facial shaping or facial sculpting, but you can tell that Shinecrafts, I think, does that quite a lot, and so I did that, and it's cute. You can tell the eyes kind of indent a little bit, and it just adds that extra pizzazz, extra cuteness. Just a reminder, this is what our Ditto looks like currently. Honestly, not the worst, but I'm not the biggest fan of the mouth. So we're gonna change that, and then we can see the comparison with the other Ditto, which I can see right now, and y'all, major glow up, I'm telling you. Goodbye, mouth. We don't need you anymore. When I secure the mouth, I always knot it and put it in there, but it's like knotted around stuffing, and so it's making it hard to come out, and I think we're just gonna hide this in the Ditto completely, and then it gets to just be extra stuffing. I'm so happy to have black acrylic yarn. Now I feel like more mouths of mine can look a little bit better and neater. Oh my gosh, y'all. Wait till you see this because this is 1,000 times better. And just like that, ta-da! Our Ditto is done. And here is an actual Ditto or a drawing of one or something. And then here is my old Ditto. Oh my goodness, this is insane. I don't know how I ever thought this looked okay. I wonder if it like transformed over time because it's like so flat and so tall. But anyhow, if anyone is interested in any of these Pokemon crochet projects, just DM me on Instagram, Comfy Cozy Naoetry, and I can put it up on Etsy for you specifically to get it. I had such a blast doing this Pokemon crochet. I hope you enjoyed watching it. I love you all so much, and I will see you next time. Bye! Take that, Pokemon Go. I caught my Ditto and I caught my Pikachu.